Unmute myself. Don't worry, I did that yesterday because I believe that's the new Southern Fried tradition for hosts. Come in muted. That way you just look crazy. And yo, what's going on? I know. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome to another day of Southern Fried Poetry Slam, the virtual edition. I'm your host, Blues, in here in this weird virtual situation, and everybody has these backgrounds, so it looks all funky. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, the thing I love about this is we get to connect with our people from across the globe. I am your host this evening. You're going to see some amazing poetry. Let me tell you about who's in the room. Tonight we have Writer's Den in the building. We got Do More in the building. We got Lyrically Inclined in the building. And of course, we got two dope indie poets, Justin Blackburn and Ed Mabry. Yo, it's going to be an incredible slam. I hope you all are with me. Shout out to everybody out there in social media world. Hey, listen, tell me where you're from right now. You know what I'm saying? Where are you? Just type it in, right? Or whatever you're doing. Type it in. Let everybody know where you're at. Shoot up those heart emojis. Shoot up those fire emojis. Just want to make sure that y'all are set and giving these poets all the love and energy in the room. I am going to read you the MC spiel. Welcome to the 29th Annual Southern Poetry Fried Slam Virtual Edition, Southern Fried Regional Poetry Slam, the virtual edition. Here we go. At Southern Fried, we believe Black Lives Matter. We support and believe in the rights of our LGBTQ community, and we believe every person should have the equal access to living their best lives, physically, spiritually, and artistically. We encourage you to be respectful of everyone's identity and remember that every person on this stage has equal value. Every person on this stage has equal value. At Southern Fried, we judge poems, not people. Tonight, you will see 3 or 4 teams of poets and up to 2, I already told you, independent poets from the Southeast and beyond, competing for a chance to get onto the final stage this Saturday afternoon for the indies and Saturday night for the teams, right? If you are present in the Zoom bout, please make sure to mute your mics and turn your cameras off when you are not performing. Judges, we ask that your cameras remain on during the poems. This bout is attended by poets who are logging in from around the world, so please give their poetry your love and undivided attention. In a poetry slam, there is no music, there are no costumes or props, and each poet will be performing original work. Poems may be up to 3 minutes long, but after a 10-second grace period, the performer loses points for going over time. You may see groups of poets performing team pieces. This is normal and encouraged. And also pretty funky since they're all in this virtual world. It's really dope to see. We have pre-selected judges this year, and we've got Adua. I think I said that right. I hope I did. Please forgive me. We've got Kimberly, we've got Christy, we've got Jocelyn, and we got Joe B. We've had a lot of Joe judges these past 2 days. Well, I've seen a lot of Joe judges. I love it. Judge Joe Brown. Anyways. They are not affiliated with the poets performing tonight, but we are excited to find out what they think. These judges are our poetry experts tonight, but feel free to use the chat to let your judges know whether you agree with them or not. You might wonder, like, what are you talking about? Listen, this is a poetry slam. And these judges are going to score poems. Judges are going to score poems all the way from a fantastic 10, meaning that is an amazing poem. You should run the world with your poems, poet laureate of the universe, all the way down to a 0, meaning someone should snatch your internet and you should never be allowed to have anything with a pen or pencil or words, again, 0. We ask that you use all of the decimal points and everything inside of that, 8.6s, 4.9, 7.3s. We just ask that you remain consistent with how you feel about the poem and not be swayed by the internet, the virtual audience out there, because they are going to boo you like this. So it's very stern and the finger should be very, It's going to be a hard boo. All the way up to fantastic yays. It's just someone slapping the keyboard with emojis and fire and all the things that make you feel good about giving a good score to these judges. So judges, be not swayed by what you read in the comments, but do also just be consistent with your score as you can be, right? Okay, so you can also use the reaction buttons to show your support for the poem. If you're a judge, if you're joining us via live stream, leave us comments, use your emojis. I just told you that. Feel free to interact with us on social media and share with your friends. Share with your friends. Judges, don't let the audience sway you tonight. You are the experts. Like I said, you're in charge. You are in charge of the outcome. I love it. If you like the poetry you hear tonight, we will post their contact information so that you can purchase their merchandise. That's right. SoFried merchandise is available on our website, and tickets to Final Stage can be purchased through Eventbrite. We'll have somebody on who will tell you a little bit more about that later on. We would love to have you join us as these poets battle for the 2021 championship of Southern Fried Greatness, right? So I hope you all are acclimated and ready and excited like I am. But before we go get into the slam, we need to have ourselves a calibration poem. This poet is not a part of the competition, but will be judged just the same. Judges, you will use this poet's score as your baseline of reference for the poems you will hear later. So, judges, I hope that you are ready. I hope everybody in the Zoom land is ready like I am. So, with that being said, if you all are ready like I am, I need to see those hands going up. I need to see the finger snapping, whatever it is that you do to show emotion, to show that you're ready for this, to show that you're excited. Listen, here we go with our sacrifice, Mr. Danny Strag. Let's go, Danny.
When a far-left liberal views the world through blue-tinted glasses, Republicans all look the same. They're raging racist, rapeaholic apologists who basically believe someone named Q has all the answers. They'll believe in anything other than basic facts and science and human decency. See, every one of them was at the insurrection sporting fascist fur hats made from cute little bunnies they killed and skinned themselves, wearing backpacks stuffed with zip ties and a bunch of bullshit. Somehow all their women are named Karen, and they pray every day to Jesus Christ and Donald Trump. But when that always right conservative slips on his own rose-tinted glasses, Democrats all look the same too. Angry allies to the axis of evil with no pronouns. They don't believe in anything other than fucking the police while policing free speech and freeing the felons from prison, then re-enfranchising them just so they can elect a bunch of judges who will personally perform abortions. They want to replace the stripes on Old Glory with a rainbow and the stars with snowflakes, burn down every Best Buy in the country, and cancel your parents. And if America was an old-timey movie theater, most of our politicians would sit in the thin wings, while the rest of us would occupy the wide stripe in the middle with the best view of the action, only we can't hear the soundtrack running under the shouting match between left and right, dueling with one-sided debates. They can't even hear their own arguments because their heads have been shoved up their asses so long that shit is now full of them. Political discussion in America is politically disgusting. The debate's been taken over by extremists. News programs populated by pretty people repeating talking points, news stories calculated to get ratings rather than report. And if I wanted to watch someone lip sync meaningless shit, I'd turn to TikTok. But if I want real news, I'd basically listen to every late night show monologue. Like, the truth has turned so tainted we can't take it without a joke to help it go down. Like, the truth is a prop in a complicated magic trick, and we're also mesmerized by the wizard's hands. We don't notice the mirrors turning 3D scenes into 2D images. And that's what's wrong with extremists. They only see one flat side of a world in 3 dimensions. Like someone forgot to hand them their 3D glasses. And if you want to watch a movie without getting a splitting headache, your glasses need one red lens and one blue lens. Otherwise, you can't see what's really happening.
Give it up for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. Love it, love it, love it. Always show love for that poet. So, judges, you're going to be thinking about it. And then I'll say, judges, what say you? And then you will put your scores into the chat. You type them right into the chat, and we'll read them from low to high, and then we'll get our scores. Because what we'll do then is take the high score and the low score, get rid of those two, and that 3 in the middle. Shout out to our scorekeeper, Paula. She's going to be holding it down for us. So, judges, what say you? Oh, scores are coming in. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and I believe that is our 5th score. We got everybody? Yes, we did. All right, from lowest to high, there is an 8. There's another 8. There's an 8.2. There's an 8.3 and an 8.5 from our judges.
And that gives us a score of 24.5.
24.5 for the sacrificial poet. That's how we start off with the heat, y'all. I hope you're all excited as I am. Yes, yes, yes. Always clap for the poet. Always clap for the poet, because the poet always matters, not so much the score. So with that being said, y'all, we are ready to jump into this. Here's the part where I love, because we get into this team situation. I don't know what's going to happen. So I will say team name, and then team, you will either tell me or type it in the chat of who you're sending up. So do more. Who you sending up? And then silence, hush the room. Do more, where you at? What we got? Groupies from Do More. Let's go.
Darren Seals, Fred Hampton,
Tracy Thompson,
Eden Moy,
Edward Turner,
Melissa
Donnie
Williams,
Johnson,
Bob Marley, Medgar Evers, Sandra Bland. Heads of the movement multiply. In Greek mythology, the Hydra is a monster hunted by Hercules, who thought himself
a hero, thought himself to have come
from the heavens. The white man always been a false god, killing anything with enough fire in his belly to fight back. But this story was first found in African mythology. The Hydra was called Waterlord, a multi-headed dragon. Dragon history
said to raise skeletons by the
skin of his teeth and cause droughts when he's insulted. When y'all killed Freddie Gray, we dried up the harbor. Growing up in food deserts got us spitting fire. Our throats been scorched, my ancestors been hungry. So of course we bite the hand that doesn't feed us. Glory be to Gloria, fighting against segregated opportunity, setting flames fields Latinos been paid dust in.
Pennies won't buy you
A sip from the fountain. My predecessors are thirsty, only allowed to drink if it gives them something to write about. So they put lead in the water.
Amber Evans,
Activist turned corpse, her body found in a river. So we crossed the river Styx with 6 more heads. Say their name in the Ashe circle like we summoning lost souls, prophesized as beasts.
We
Generate every generation to defend against degenerates, apparitions and replication for lack of reparations. When your birth war cry is not the lowest point because
we've seen
reincarnation. You can't kill energy. Our existence is a rebellion.
The minority.
And alive is to be an activist when everything
You are.
is
Everything.
America hates, outlaws, kills.
We had to find light in the kingdom come. So when this kingdom come, it will be birthed from a fire that ain't no hiding from. Echoing every voice the villains vilified, the tyrants testified. They're fighting for the right to bear arms. We write about the fight to bear fists. God sent a flood, will deliver the eternal flame. Our power comes from the rage and pain, singeing our veins. Stars of birth from our screams. Meaning, if you don't hear us, you won't see us. We sentence you to suffer and sulfur. We wait for the day sun seeps into your esophagus and seeks respite. Claims your lungs as home. See the ember in our eyes. When you lost so many people to the cause, it only makes sense that our tears ignite the revolution. Say their names, or we'll say it for you. And they start with us, but it will end with us. What the fuck did you expect? For what you've done, 3rd-degree burn. For all my niggas you kept from earning one. Yeah, we spit fire, aim of the flame, and burn the white supremacy. You don't want no smoke.
No.
All right. Do more with the group piece. Judges. You're thinking that thing through. You're thinking it through. And then I say, judges, what say you? Boom, boom, boom. All right. Seeing the scores come in. I see 1. I see 2. I see 3. There's 4. And then there's 5. All right. From lowest to high, there is an 8.6. Then I do see an 8. I'm sorry, there was an 8.5. Then an 8.6. Then a 9.5. A 9.6 and a 9.9 for the poet for the group piece from Do More. All right.
And that gives us a score of 27.7.
27.7 for the poet. Give it up for the poets. Always loving this energy, y'all. Loving this energy. Here we go. Writer's Den. Who are you sending up? Sherry Purpose Hall. Y'all put your hands together. Give it all the energy for the poem for Sherry Purpose Hall from Writer's Den. Sherry, you got it. Let's go.
Hello, I am Sherry Purpose Hall with the Writer's Den. Sorry, I don't look like the rape poem you're used to. Not Western beauty standard, waif thin, pale, too Black woman strong for you to imagine forced, held down, controlled. Sorry, I'm not white feminist crying on microphone enough for you. Skin and land of origin, not exotic enough for you. History of slavery, not human trafficking enough for you. Sorry, my continued survival doesn't scream damaged enough for you. Audacity to still think myself as sexy, too bold for you. Married and raising children, not post-traumatic enough for you to stress over. Sorry, I don't live up to your standards of what it is to be rape poem, beautiful and emotionally messy. Sorry, your stereotype didn't include fat or Black, but I assure you we exist. I know rape poems. Read the forced love, italics, the deafening blank space containing no edits for heroes, the irregular stanzas, all carrying the same fragmented sentences, void proper punctuation, except for periods. At some point, I suppose we all hope our periods come. I suppose the ugly truth to be unfathomable that maybe rape in some sick, twisted sense is better than you, more politically correct than you, isn't sexist, ableist, ageist, colorist, or shallow like you. Rape accepts anyone in it can grab hold to. I know rape poems whose names are Jim, Tom, and Ed rather than Monica, Sharonda, or Sue. Rape poems that don't even identify as men or women. Rape poems with cerebral palsy, confined to wheelchairs, black, yellow, brown, deaf, dumb, mute, overweight, pimple face, permanently disfigured. Rape poems that weren't even scripted till they were in their 80s. I had the opportunity to teach a group of young middle school girls once and found 8 out of 9 of them also identified as rape poems. And the one glimmer of hope I had, the one that wasn't, was transformed into violated calligraphy 2 weeks later. So I'm sorry if we don't want to identify as your Law and Order SU version of a beautiful, fair, flowing haired, outspoken goddess. Rape poem. Sorry, I won't be your token episode. Sorry, I won't get on a microphone and cry for you, lay out all the gory details, give you rape poem porn. Sorry, you ain't gonna get your rocks off on this one. I am so sorry. These sorries don't come attached to legitimate apologies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, judges, you are getting all the fire today, starting from our sacrifice right up until now. But judges, oh, they're coming in hot. Oh my goodness. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Judges, you are so good at this. Here we go. From lowest to high, there is a 9.5. Then there's another 9.5, a 9.8, and then we have a 10 and a 10. All right.
And that gives us a beautiful score of 29.3.
29.3 for the poet. Always clap for the poet. Always. Yes. Here we go. Lyrically inclined. Who are you sending up? Lyrically inclined gonna send up. Who? Ascension the artist. Y'all put your hands together for Ascension the artist representing Lyrically Inclined. It's on you. Here we go.
Diana, you don't need a baby at your age. Daryl, you don't need a baby at your age. Christina, you don't need a baby at your age. Please give your bodies a chance to grow up and develop into an adult. See, she endured much abuse as a child while exposing the enemy inside her home. He stood a 6-foot ghost wrapped within tissues and flesh, inflicted psychological torture while her suicidal mother is smoking battery acid in the bathroom. She is wasted. She's too high to envision the demise of her child's cries while her friends began to manifest unprovoked peer pressure, infested poison between their teeth. The truth, they did not speak. They mispronounced their forefathers' misfortunes while masquerading how their lives is much, much better. Therefore, I dedicate this letter to every teenager who is thinking about having a baby. Don't do it. Please, for God's sake, don't do it. You're just a child yourself. Think about it. I know the desire is strong and the love is even stronger for you to deliver that baby. But the limited amount of days you spent on this earth is a witness against the wisdom you lack to properly raise one. So please get some understanding first before you do something that you will later regret. You are better than that. You deserve better than that. A condensed conscious consumer tunes, concise credibility. Daughters and sons of Zion, don't waste your glorious beauty on foolishness. You don't need foolishness in your life because you are an angel that deserves a healthy baby when you're old enough and grown up enough to deliver it in righteousness. Thank you.
Right, all right, all right. That was Ascension the Artist, representing lyrically inclined judges. Judges, what say you? All right. Scores are coming in. Scores are coming in. There's one. Oh, Lord. Fast with it. I think I missed one at the time. Let me scroll down just a touch. All right. Okay. From lowest to high, I do have an 8. And I see an 8.4, an 8.5, another 8.5, and a 9 for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Yes. Judges, you are on it.
And that gives us a score of 25.4.
25.4 for the poet. Hey, put your hands together for all the poets you've seen. That was our first round. You got to give it up for a fire first round. Always for a fire first round. Listen, we're going to keep this thing moving because I like when things run smoothly, and we are running so smooth. Shout out to the entire team, from the bout manager to the tech to score to time. You all are amazing, and we're getting through this thing. Are you all ready for the round two? Here we go. It's going to go in this order. We're going to see Writer's Den, then we're going to see Lyrically Inclined, and then we're going to see Do More. So with that being said, Writer's Den, who you sending up? Oh, I see the name already. Put your hands together for Megan Rickman Blackwood.
Hello. Dear Barbara, the first time he hits you, it'll be quick. Fast as those kisses you two used to steal in the supply closet at work when I still wore his last name. Yes, I knew. No, I never minded. Took some of the focus off of all of the fight that he had for me. By the end, the last time I let him spill my blood, I loved you as much as he did. Grateful for a shrapnel fist full of fuck you head on against my smile instead of that noose he had always promised me. In hindsight, I owe you a thank you letter. Remind me, I will write it later. The second time he hits you, it'll be hard. Steely as the eyes of some seasoned first responder, he will wrap you tight in a blanket of excuses. He didn't mean it. He promises this time, never again. You know how he gets when he's too tired, when you push his buttons. Why'd you have to go and push all his buttons? Baby, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. I'm a monster. My mother, my father, my world made me this way. I just love you too much. I am drunk with it, unstable. It comes shooting out of my body like missiles, like cannons, like my fingers are drones, and your body is a country I cannot help but invade. I have laid claim to you. You are mine. If you leave, I will kill myself. When you crack the bathroom door to speak the pleading knife from his hand, understand this is the only opening he needs. Now he knows you will take it. Now he knows you will stay. The third time he hits you, you'll call your sister. You'll tell her everything. Hang up when she begs you to leave. The eighth will taste like wedding cake, like vows, like forever. Like, didn't you promise to love him forever? Like, isn't he all yours forever? Like, isn't this monster all yours forever? Like a leash or a ring means anything. Husbands hit harder the 10th time he hits you. You make it halfway to your mother's house before he even bothers apologizing. You'll call her back, turn around, tell her it isn't as bad as it sounds. The last time he hits you, he won't even have to. The flinch will be all that you know, dear Barbara. You seem like a nice enough lady, and it's shame that my story will only ever know you as sacrifice, but your cheekbones look stronger than my children, so those will have to be the things that he breaks instead. I am stormed. I pray you will be safe here in his cold heart, no hard feelings, you know. I could have stayed if I'd wanted to, but the cost of living was too high.
All right. That was Megan Rickman of Writers and Judges. What you doing? What you talking about? Judges say you. Oh, there's one score. There is the second. There is the third. There's the fourth. Waiting on the fifth score. Sweet. There it is. Fifth score. Here we go from lowest high. Excuse me. I knocked my whole computer. Almost knocked it over. I was gonna say something stupid. I miss being on stage and making weird jokes, but here we go. From lowest to high, there is a 9. Then we have another 9. Then we have a 9.2, a 9.3, and a 9.5 for the poet.
They ain't like it.
Oh,
Shit.
So mute yourself. So we don't hear all the strategic talk behind the scenes. Mute yourself. We know your whole story. All right, Paula, what we got?
We get a score of 27.5.
27.5 for the poet. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Keep this energy going. Give it up for the poet. And of course, who we got coming up? Oh, lyrically inclined. Who are you sending? Sydney. We love it, we love it, we love it. Y'all put your hands together for Sydney.
Hello? You can hear me?
Good to go.
In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. An ocean so alive and free, they said you could walk across on the backs of sea turtles. He landed on an island he named San Salvador, the savior. Half the Taino population didn't survive the decade. 23andMe says all my ancestors hailed from the water's edge. Maybe that's why the gatekeepers of the land won't touch me. I belong to the sea. These explorers and pirates may brave rumors of tempests and kraken, but they know not to tamper with evidence. My genome is an active crime scene. I have seen schools of sharks abandon 300 million years of instinct to follow the Middle Passage. Their blue-gray scales etched onto my eyes. Through the waves, I glimpse conquerors, awestruck at an expanse of blue, refusing to turn purple. There are no defendants in international waters. Not even sunshine will dive this deep. My skin pales in the darkness, but my hair remembers. It coils into DNA at the slightest touch of the sea. But to be fair, none of that rhymes within 1492. Thank you.
All right. Give it up for Sydney. Oh, the heat, emotions in the heat. Okay. Shout out to Dr. Hinsbo. I want him to know that when all this is over, there's a waiter's job at Denny's waiting for him. That
Wow. Wow. Fighting words. I'll let him know.
Judges, what say you? Oh, their scores are rolling in. Okay, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From lowest to high, I do see a 7. Then there's an 8 point, I believe that's an 8.4. Yep. Then an 8.5, another 8.5, and an 8.5. 5 for the poet. And what's that score?
Just a second, I'm waiting on the time.
Uh-oh, are we good on time? There's a question of time. How do we boo it?
No, it's not a question. I just want to know the exact time.
Okay.
Sorry.
Shout out to all. You doing score and time? I thought, we lost April Armstrong, our timekeeper. They gave you 2 jobs. I love it because you're amazing. Shouts out to our scorekeeper, timekeeper doing 2 things at once. We love it. We love it. Love it in the tech world.
Okay, I got word that the time is good. Just got confirmation. So her score is 25.4.
25.4 for the poet. Always clap for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. And who are we sending up next? Oh, do more. Who we got? Do more. Who you sending up? Do more. Do more sending up. Delicia Green, aka Obsidian. Let's go. Sorry about that, timekeeper April. I see you. All right, Obsidian, let's get it.
Take your time. I ain't turning on.
Hello, can you hear me? My grandfather is 6'1". My grandfather is a tall man, a man of great height. I'm afraid of heights, afraid of falling from them like an apple falling from a family tree, and somehow my sister became a reflection of Eve, forced to bite into a forbidden fruit and is blamed for generational sin. We all know how the story goes. A snake slithers his way into a garden, lurks around, and winds up a tree. Translation: my grandmother is hypnotized. She's embedded in his scales. He got her tangled up in a jungle of lies until they tie the knot. Translation: King James Version, he becomes a part of our family tree. Our roots grew rotten like his intentions and his smile. My grandfather's name is James. He molested my mother when she was 13, raped and molested my sister when she was 9. My sister inherited my mother's eyes along with a generational curse. How do I call that man? Pop, pop. But he popped my sister's cherry and still sleeps with my grandmother every night. My sister's life became predator versus alienated child. She went from falling from dying trees to collapsing from the Tower of Babel, trying to reach God. My grandfather had prostate cancer, a tumor in his dick, finally got what he deserved, finally met his match with irony, but was wicked enough to beat death at its own game. He survived cancer, lived through 3 heart attacks. That monster is still alive, still breathing the same fire that burnt childhoods alive. How do you slay a serpent? And every time we try to kill him, another head goes back and touches another child. My grandfather has diabetes. His soul so bitter, he ate sweets to neutralize. Then last year, on my birthday, the doctors took his foot so he couldn't walk or slither. His dances with the devil got cut short. And the other day, he looked me in the eyes and asked me how my sister was. I looked at him with so much hate in my eyes until I saw that my grandfather can no longer stand tall. He can no longer bear the weight of his own sins. He is dying. And I guess his death will have to take one step at a time. And no one will be around when he falls. Whose phone?
All right, judges. That was Obsidian from Dumore. Oh, scores are in. I see one score. There's a second score. Waiting on the third. There's the third score. There's another score and the fifth score. Coming in low to high, there is a 9.5. Then there's a 9.8. Then there is a 10, 10, 10.
And that gives us a score of 29.8.
29.8 for Do More. Always clap for the poet. And that brings us to the end of our second round. A second round of what? Fire! But okay, so now listen. That ends the second round of team competition, which means we get into our first indie of the evening. And after our first indie, we're going to take ourselves a 5-minute break so the judges might be able to go use the bathroom, or you go do whatever you do in your little virtual world. Yeah, I don't know. It's your 5 minutes. You do what you want. So with that being said, I need you to continue this energy. Start clapping right now for your first indie of the evening. Goes by the name of Mr. Ed Mabry.
Hello, can you hear me? A Black woman is water because she is constantly forced to adjust to her surroundings. See, to know a Black woman is to know power. To see a Black woman is to see power. However, to be raised by a Black woman is to know fear. Take, for example, my mama, probably yours, standing on her porch with that church belt and that robe she should have burned a long time ago. Her ears attuned to the sound of generators coming on miles away. She could hear the streetlights come on a millisecond before they would start to glow. See, a Black mother knows the sound of her son's pumas pounding the pavement, could hear my neighbor breathing, my heartbeat. No, nigga, actually, my mama could hear the blood as it ran through my veins. As I would try to make it on that front porch in vain before curfew, her hands be casually wrapped around my church belt, which was wrapped around her neck at the time, as she checked her watch and nodded her head in approval of my trying. Translation is a Black woman knows that freedom is in your trying. A Black woman is equal parts Serena Williams' backhand and a Bible across your backside. Every Black woman in the world is 5'3" when she's smiling, 6'8" when she is angry, but equally beautiful in both of those moments. When she used to whoop you, it was like Mr. Miyagi lessons via the emergency broadcast system. This is just a butt whooping. It is only a regular butt whooping. Had it been a real emergency butt whooping, you'd be dead by now. I would look up to see my mama crying more than me, and she'd tell me, baby, it's better that I whoop and correct you in here. You go out into the world thinking you know anything more than your hopes and your dreams about up in a hearse out there. See, a Black woman knows every piece of policeman's chalk is eager to make your street pavement paparazzi famous, wants to outline your existence as if an outline of a human is all you ever were. She simply wants to teach you the color within your lifelines. Fill up that space first before you start learning how to dance on the edges of razor blades. A Black woman is cornbread from scratching. Keep your feet off my furniture. A Black woman will know the meaning of the phrase hard work. All she knows is work is job, 2 jobs, get up on the good foot, car, public bus, walk if I have to, moonlight, waitress tips, and cash under the table. Do whatever I got to do to keep food on this damn table because everybody wants to be her these days. Everybody wants to judge her these days. But last time I checked, don't nobody want to help her these days. A Black woman knows better than to ask the world for help. She can smell her know a mile away. Might sometimes get less than 10% on Sundays, but she ain't ever come up short on a life insurance policy because in America, most of all, a Black woman is trained to know death. She knows it whispers to the ears of her children to cross the wrong street at the right time in front of the wrong officer. He knows her mortality, and that is what makes a Black woman immortal. See, she hides her wings from her own babies. So they don't think she ever fly away without them, but not hesitate to put on some horns and play the devil. It means keeping her children alive for one more day. She has seen the evil of men in her block and her bedroom. Every Black single mother lives with post-traumatic stress disorder because she has to raise up children, but just like the man she had to kick out and then watches their words ventriloquist out of his mouth. She is queen sniper, negress ninja, the swallower of your ugly truths and the holder of all your unbroken promises. She is a righteous reflection. She's the reason why 400-pound football players say, "Hi, Mom," at Super Bowl cameras. She is roll your eyes if you want to and step on a crack and break your mama's back. I dare you, she says. What makes you think my back ain't already broken? She says. I am more than just your mother, she says. I am a rose trying to teach you how to bloom, teach you how to grow, and teach you, my child, how to rise.
All right. That was our first indie poet, our first storm poet, if you will, Ed Mabry. The scores are in. They're in fast. All right. There's a score. There's another score. There's another score. And the fifth. All right, judges, you are fucking awesome. I'm gonna just tell you that because you're fast with it. I love it. All right, so from lowest to high, there is a 9. Then I see a 9.5, another 9.5, a 9.6, and a 9.8 for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Always, always, always. Yes, 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 yes. Listen, this is what we call here the virtual intermission. You all will have about 5 minutes to go and make a drink. Trying to make a sandwich. I don't know if you got to go outside and handle some beef. You got time to go do that. Whatever it is you do on your 5 minutes where you live, that's what I want you to go do. But I want you to be back here so we can get the rest of this poetry thing started. We got 2 more rounds, 1 more indie to go. I'm going to stop talking because I'm cutting into our 5 minutes. 5 minutes, here we go.
Blues. Ed Mabry's score was at 28.6.
Thank you for keeping me honest. Appreciate that. All right, and now your 5 minutes starts. I see people are starting to return and they are coming back. They're coming back. Whew. We're ready, got a nice break. I had to do a little venue change. Still look weird in the background though. I don't know. The virtual backgrounds make things look very, very funky, if you will. But y'all's backgrounds look amazing, judges. You guys are in some really sharp spots. Shout out to everybody who has that special background that you've been rocking with through this whole Zoom pandemic era, and you fancied it up, and now you're a Zoom background expert. Me, not so much. I got all kind of weird stuff going on, but we're gonna make this thing happen. Shout out to everybody tuning in from all over the planet for this amazing, amazing 29th annual Southern Fried Regional Poetry Slam right here in the virtual space. Listen, I think we have just about everybody back. Let me make sure as I'm checking the chat. Kimberly is back. Joe B is back. All right. Tech is back. Timekeeper's back. Scorekeeper's back. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Am I missing anybody? I think we got everybody. Yep. Adua is back and Jocelyn is back. All right. That's all. I think that's all my judges. Not all my judges. Not all my judges. 1, 2, yep, 3, 4, and yeah, we got Jocelyn, Adua, and okay. Slam Masters is our Slam Masters here. You guys good? I can't see everybody. Let me turn to my different view here. It looks like everybody's here. Lyrically Inclined is here. Christy is back. Got all my judges back. Slam Masters are good. Lyrically Inclined is here. Writer's Den, Do More. Are you all ready to do this thing? Let's see. Roscoe, yep. Lyrically Inclined is here. Do More. Are we ready to go? Slankston, is your team ready to go? I think they might be. Nope, let's see. Waiting on Slankston and the Do More crew to give us. There they go. All right, everybody is back. Everybody is back. Everybody's back. Is everybody doing all right? Everybody give a big thumbs up so I know that you're okay. Yes, 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 yes. Very good. I hope that your break was prosperous. I hope that you accomplished something. Whatever it was that you went to go do, you got that thing done in 5 minutes because you are efficient as hell. Listen, speaking of efficiency, we are back at it. We are ready to get into our third round of Poetry Slam. And you will see the order like this. You will see Lyrically Inclined, then you will see Do More, and then you will see Writer's Den. With that being said, Lyrically Inclined, you are starting off the third round. Who are you sending up? Anthony B. Daniels. Y'all make some noise for Anthony B. Daniels as he makes his way to the stage.
Hello? Things good? What if there was no tomorrow? Just a variation of days gone by. What if you're not really here? What if you have already died and everything that is perceived to have happened, another set of circumstances that taken place at one time? What if everything's around you is the heaven or hell you're to look forward to? It's just a matter of which variation you're to jump into next. What if you're someone else's heaven or hell to see next? Are you their angel or their demon? What if everything around you has already happened and you're the last one to know? That skeleton in your closet is really your body hanging by the flesh while the world waits for you to catch up in this purgatory we call life? What if life is really death? This whole journey is a 9-month journey of someone else's pregnancy. So at birth, we can see tomorrow for what it really is. What if we looked alike to most people? Because once we were kin related, we were one people. Then we got separated at the block in the church steeple. Now we're mixing in debt and learned evil. Tribes torn apart, no longer used to pretending looking for a finish line, but this right here, whoop, it's just the beginning. All these faces and patterns tell emotional stories of failure and triumph, of sorrow and glory. This is my story, this is my song. Meditate with a swisher and the motherless long. Random theories in the clouds is where I belong. Dancing with heebie-jeebies like I'm Louis Armstrong. I'm sorry if this is not what you're expecting. But this is what happens when I'm high and I start kvetching. Pretend I'm Catholic a little and start a confession. This Southern Slam first time for me too. So this is a blessing. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. Starting off this third round hot. Here we go. Judges. Judges, what you got for me? What you got for me, judges? Judges. I see one score. There's one score in. There is a second. There's a third. There's the fourth. Waiting on that fifth one. Who's it from? Kimberly. Thank you. All right. All scores are in. And judges, from low to high, this is a 7. Then I see an 8. I see another 8. I see an 8.5 and an 8.5 for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. That gives us a score of
24.5.
24.5 for the poet. Yes, yes. Clap, clap, clap. Give it up always for the poet. Love it, love it. Do more. You are up. Who are you sending, Do more? Another group piece from Do More. Let's go.
I came out to the keyboard, found queer in the first 4 letters. It was the only alphabet that taught me to take backspace in my home, hid my sins, and only used the computer as a confession box. Finally found the almighty Tumblr, and oh my God, the titties that travel my timeline, my PC had never been filled with so much pussy. I said, fuck celibacy. Being gay is a celebration. Just because pride is infectious, don't make it a virus. Use the internet to connect us ironically. We hide behind a binary. Thanks to modern technology, don't need no God. Now I know science as a savior. The smallest molecule of life is no longer an atom, but a bite of Eve's forbidden fruit. Is it blasphemous to confide in an apple when we're both the only ones of a kind, the only ones of our kind in this holy place? But God knew that. DNA is just divine coding, and these codes have become another heaven. Sometimes even a safe haven of passwords aren't enough. The shade room gotten so bad that they treat us like Skittles. See how many labels they can squeeze onto one wrapper, no light existing in the comments. So imagine how easy it must be to eclipse us in real life. I know too many people who hate when June comes around, hate when men in dresses and bitches feel like bitches gather to celebrate. Like, why can't they do that shit at home? Dress up is a closet activity. Kissing girls is a closet activity. Fuck you coming out for? People still discuss concealing gayness like it's a conversation to be had. And when I won't have it, they say I'm putting up a firewall, stonewalling, like the Stonewall Inn all over again. Used to hide in sidebars, still ended up behind bars. June 28, 1996, the streets became a battleground. And when the police saw refuge in our home, we set that shit on fire. The first Pride Parade was a riot. My mother thinks queer folk got too many rights to still be marching, and I don't know how to tell her we're somewhere between the storm and the sunshine, hence the rainbow. And honestly, I'm tired of watching colors float into the sky. Brown queers turn angel, turn energy, rainbows passing through prisms, and prisms are transparent, so every rainbow knows what it's like to feel invisible. How many trans women have virtually disappeared, made it onto our timelines after theirs ended, only to be replaced by another name, another face, another symbol. My father hates the gay flag almost as much as he hates queer people. If he ever knew I've loved girls, he'd hang me from that rainbow to see the color drain from my face, then try to tell me how love should work, defining love through technicalities. So we redefine love through tech casually. When security at home failed me, I found love beyond the home screen. Little me would be so proud to see her sleepovers are no longer a secret, no longer need a password with a password about my existence. So when someone asks, how do I view lesbians? I say, in HD. And I no longer clear the browser history.
All right, all right, all right. Judges, 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 you're thinking it over. And listen, make sure you stay tuned to join the 9 p.m. bout. and 11 p.m. Nerd Slam, emceed by Mr. L.J. Bowens. Y'all know L.J. $15 for a ticket to finals. Make sure you get your tickets to finals. But $20 to get you a membership to Southern Fried, and you get to see all that shit for free all year round. We'll talk more about it later. Judges, what you got? Oh, you guys are fast. I'm over here talking. You were just throwing down mine. Boom, there's one score. There's a second. And I see the third. Yep. Fourth and fifth. All right. From lowest to high, I do see a 9.5. Then there's a 9.6. And then, of course, we've got what? We've got our 10s. Where's my arrows? 10.
And that gives us a score of 29.6.
29.6 for Do More. Love it. All right, Writers Den, who you sending up? I see the name. Y'all put your hands together. Start making some noise right now for Mr. Roscoe Burnhams.
My mother has a heart full of batteries. An active morning leaves her drained, leaves her out of breath. She stays plugged into her bed through most of the afternoon and recharging most days. It takes all evening. She uses these moments to read scripture and talk to Jesus. My mother owes her life to her faith, would often ask me to take her to church on Sundays. She remembers all the times she's died. When resurrection has been a defibrillator laying hands on her, she thanks God for all the transformations, never the doctors. I recently read about how often religious text gets doctored, how holy books undergo transformations. I read a lot about scripture. Found there were 14,800 differences between the original Bible and its most modern version. That there's no mention of Christ's return in its earliest rendition. That the similarities between Christianity and Egyptology are uncanny, and most religious holidays are pagan and have nothing to do with Christ at all. Now, after all this, I became agnostic, not atheist. I didn't choose to believe in nothing. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just chose to stop looking through the pigeonhole that is religion. Felt a huge word like God was too big to put in a chapter book. And I use terms like the universe now. I don't pray as much as I meditate. And I figured if Jesus, Muhammad, and Moses didn't need a Bible, Quran, or Torah, then maybe I should follow suit. Now, after all this, I thought I had to explain all this to my mother, the truth about King James, religious fear-mongering, origin of Satan. And since then, she has stopped asking me to take her to Sunday service. Says that she's praying for me, never specifies what she's hoping is going to happen. She thinks I'm an atheist. She has never heard the word agnostic. I was starting to think there were 14,800 differences between my mother and me. But when the surgeon said there was no mention of her return, I responded like scripture, "O ye of little faith, realize the similarities between her and I are uncanny, that the little bit of gospel I have inside is pagan and has nothing to do with God at all. It was after watching cardiac arrest leave her chest split like a Red Sea, after cancer had been a nail in our family's palm, and every man in her life be one Judas after another. These things made me doubt the Lord. Overcoming them made her believe in God more. And maybe she's blind, maybe I'm blind, or maybe faith is about being blind and trusting everything you feel. She calls it God, I call it the universe. She found it in a book, but I found it in her. Look, I've learned too much about the Bible to always believe in it, but she's gone too much in life not to. My mother passes down the same Bible she swears kept her alive. I'm gonna read that shit all the way through one day when they add a chapter about my mother. I am agnostic, not atheist. There are times I've seen too much to believe in God, but I have watched my mother be God too much not to believe in something.
All right. Judges. You are thinking it through. Shout out to all of our virtual world people out there. Shout out to everybody out there on the YouTubes. That's right. I'm old enough to put an S on everything. The YouTubes, the Twitters, the Instagrams, the TikToks, all of that. Listen, if you're out there, make sure you're putting up those fire emojis. all of those heart emojis showing all these poets love. Listen, that's why you call me grandpa. You're right. Shouts out to you, Siren. Okay, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 scores. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. All right, from lowest to high, there is an 8.6. Then there is a 9. Then there's a 9.3, a 9.3, and a 9.5 for the poet. Y'all give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. We get those scores tabulated up. What we got?
We got a 27.6.
27.6 for the poet. Give it up for the poet. And for that third round. Woo! Third round went by fast. Wow, 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 wow. Some amazing poetry. So, of course, ending the third round brings us to our next indie poet for the evening. And I hope he's ready. I hope you all are ready. We're going to judge him just as we've been judging the teams. Y'all put your hands together. Start clapping your hands right now. Make all the happy noises for Mr. Justin Blackburn.
Tips for thirsty bros hitting on my fiance. 1, don't just comment you're beautiful on her Instagram pic and think that's doing shit. It's not. Engage with her content. Tell her what it brings up for you emotionally. If nothing, then sorry. She's attracted to the ones who want to get to know what makes her so fine, like all the times I listened while she cried. She knows I know she's so beautiful because of the light that shines from her brilliant mind. She lives there, not her body. Before your thoughts get all naughty, forget who you pretend she is because a pic you saw. If you only want beauty, go flirt with a sky or a blow-up doll. 3, don't slide in her DM with corny-ass lines like, you should want to get to know me better. Next to an emoji trying to be all cute. You're not a third grader. Your cute died years ago. Use a more empowered aspect of yourself, like your fucking truth. That's the heart I wake her up to bright and early. She smiles, eyes closed, no pressure, just love, no hurry. 4, why would she want to get to know you better? You're just a creepy guy from the internet who likes all her photos. Give her a reason. Tell her you don't need mom anymore to help you blow your nose. Better yet, leap into your own soul. What makes you feel whole? What nuggets of wisdom do you hold? Y'all can skip over the pond together. Like everywhere her and I go, we're being followed by forever. 5, don't send the shit at 5 on a Sunday morning. It makes you look like you stayed up all night drinking, then got horny, and before you could fall asleep, you needed someone to project your loneliness on. That's weak. She's a goddess. She's the place I go to worship God. 6, it's sick how many men still think women are just bodies, here for them to oogle and Google over. I get you love the movies, but no woman wants to date the fucking Joker. Within each woman lives the most all-encompassing soul in the whole universe. A soul that can transform that middle school mind of yours thinking about titties into an eternal God that can remove the curse of the toxic masculinity making your life so shitty. Don't want the truth? She turned me into living proof. 7, if you actually read what she had to say and did the inner work, you could be staring into the soul of your own lover instead of the crying eye of a dick you just jerked. But you're right, she's beautiful. So I can't blame you for standing in the waiting line. But there's a reason why. It's because she's fucking divine. Start from there within yourself. While knowing motherfucker for her, I'm ready to fight.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Judges, 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 you got some things to think about, some things to think about. Judges, what say you? I got 1 score from Kimberly. Judge Joe B, Jocelyn, Christy, and Ajua. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From lowest to high, there is an 8.5. Then there's an 8.8. There's a 9. Then there's another 9 and a 9.7 for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. Fantastic job.
And that gives us a score of 26.8.
26.8 for the poet. Very good, very good, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, human beings, we are going into our final round. I hope you all are as excited as I am. This has been a really great slam. Normally, I have to give out like these instructions that say, hey, judges, make sure that you're, keeping consistent. You are. You've been hella consistent and fast with it. So no more instructions for me. You know what you're doing. We are back to our original rotation. Are you ready right now? If you're ready right now, just go crazy because I can't hear you, but I just want to see you going crazy. Woo! My judges are doing it. The rest of you, I don't know about y'all. I love my judges' energy. Judges, you are the shit. You go everywhere with me from now on. We're going to Vegas, masked up, vaccinated, whatever we got to do, we gonna party. Anyway, with that being said, do more. You are starting off this final round. Who are you sending? Marin. Okay, we got Marin, aka Afrodelic. I had to make sure I said that right. It's all spelled weird. Afrodelic, y'all. Put your hands together. Make all the noises. Put it all in the chats. Fires, claps, 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 all that. Afrodelic, it is on you.
Marin, by the way. To the man of many who've commanded me to smile. No, it's 2021. And I refuse to keep things bottled up. And unbeknownst to you, this body is not the public space it walks through. This body is one of water. And I understand that you are very, very thirsty. But did you really think your meaningless compliments would make me melt? Because they don't. They make me freeze up like a lake in December. But what are women if not water? Something seen, still, and silent, and seemingly still something suggested to swim in. I'm surprised you can't see how tired I am in my eyes, because that's the third smile, baby girl, I've heard this block. And every one of you scare me more than the last. And every one of you think you are owed a response. And you still trying to talk to me like you ain't below sea level. Womanhood is bound to the water, to the sails, like how sex trafficking causes dead young girls to wash up on shores, but this body of water cannot be cleaned. It is polluted by the men, raised by the notion that women are drinkable instead of salt, water, oceans, men who will harpoon the life out of her just to feed his hunger, men who will make a woman cry a river just to say he made her wet. And no, I said I don't want to smile, I'm salty. Got a slightly brackish state of mind because I've been thinking of all the women who don't make it to the end of the block, to whom a compliment turns deadly just because she ain't reply the right way. And if woman is water, then you, sir, are Flint, Michigan. Like, still ain't got none to this day. Niggas ain't shit. They are sea plankton, longing to rule Bikini Bottom, but even the squids ward you off. Don't you know we still reign over you? But don't get it twisted. This precipitation ain't no invitation. You couldn't stop me with a damn, let alone a damn, baby, how you doing? And last time I checked, you ain't never chosen when the tides rise, so why should I let you choose when I smile if you wanted me to? Tell a funny joke, my nigga. But you are not entitled to my words, time, or energy. This body of water will give no satisfaction, not even a wave. Beach.
Hey, Blues, you are muted. I know.
course.
Hey,
I was coming out of that just like with all the fire in the world.
it's not just you. It's not just you.
Judges, I see your scores coming through. Thank you so much. All right, I got 1, 2, there's 3, there's 4, and there's 5. All right, from lowest to high, I do see a 9. Then there's another 9, a 9.2, a 9.5, and a 9.8 for the poet.
And that gives us a score of 27.7.
27.7. Listen, if we can all say that we're friends and we all love each other, you will not tell Adam that I forgot to unmute myself in this final round. You will not tell Hinspo that. I know
I would never betray your trust like that, Blues. I'll just leave it for the replay afterwards. And then, I mean,
never mind. All right.
Look, if he watches it, which of course he will.
Yes, he will. All right, listen, we are keeping this thing moving. Who we got coming up next? Of course, it's Writer's Den, and I already see the man on the screen. Y'all put your hands together right now for the one and only Breeze. Hello?
Good to go.
My son Kamari loves. Hard and brave, his love heals all, conquers anything. My son, he loves, just like his dad. True story. One day at his mother's house, he sits on my lap. She walks past playfully, shoves him. He hops off, gives chase towards love that he knows loves him back just like he loves. But I watched him learn. What running so freely towards love will do to you if you do not watch where you are going. She reached back and smacked him. Impact incinerated his young innocence. It was a direct hit. You could look at his face melting like he got hit with a nuclear weapon. You could tell he was too busy loving to know that there was a war going on. And now I am forced to flee from the enchantment of my son's freedom. Be reminded of all the times when I actually thought it was love in the air, how the explosion hit me, how the shrapnel of a broken heart can rip through everything about you, beautiful. And I remember how I loved anyway. How I loved Shanetta out of the release of the chokehold of her past choices. How she seemed so grateful to have fresh love fill her lungs, but it was too late before I noticed that she had decided to keep hanging around with her old nooses as if the inhale of me just wasn't enough. I remember it all. And how I loved anyway. Like when Tonisha told me that guy was her aunt's boyfriend and not hers, or when my ex-wife handed me the phone so I could have a conversation with the guy I was sharing her orgasms with. I remember it all, and how I loved anyway, and I just get scared. What am I supposed to teach my son about love? I can't tell him that it conquers all when the only thing it's constantly defeated is me. I can't tell him that it heals all when this open wound of a heart just keeps falling into all the wrong salty hands can't save him from all the homicidal hands that'll just end up smacking the life out of his ability to love, right? Like his mom did. All I can do is tell my son to love anyway, like his daddy. Because you can see through all of the shots I've taken, shots to the heart I've taken, I am still here, son, loving hard, and I ain't dead yet. Love anyway, like it has never done anything wrong, because you will never be wrong loving people who do not deserve it. You will more than likely in your life love people who do not deserve your love, but you will never be wrong loving people who do not deserve it. You will only be wrong to stop loving when you yourself are so deserving of love. But I will tell my son of love, be loved anyway. You be a hero, son. You be a purple-hearted kind of honor that leaves no love lost or left behind, because if you are not fighting for love, then you are only fighting against it. And I simply refuse to raise you to become somebody else's fool.
All right, judges, 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 judges. You are working it out. I see you working hard, diligently thinking it over. And then I will say, judges, what say you? And I need to see those scores. Hit inside the chat. Yeah, there's one score. There's the second. There's the third. There's the fourth. And got our fifth score. From lowest to high, I do see a 9. There's another 9. There's a 9.5, another 9.5, and a 9.6 for the poet.
And that gives us an even score of 28.
Even score of 28. Give it up for the poet, please, 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 for Breeze. And rounding us on out, bringing us on home, we have Lyrically Inclined. Who are you sending up? Oh, we got Alex, Poetic Soul from Lyrically Inclined. Y'all put your hands together, make all the noises. Yes, let's go.
Can you hear me? Great. They call me La Madrina, the Black Widow. Say I baddest bitch in the land. I tell them I'm not bitch. I'm a lion, La Leona. People cower at the sound of my voice, make everything my way. Say I, godmother of cocaine. Me, Griselda Blanco, La Reina Colombiana. I say I entrepreneur, businesswoman. If it weren't for me, Pablo never would have made enough money to build those hospitals. But they call us criminals. Well, maybe I did have a few bodies dangling in my web. Te mato por nada, but I ain't no monster. Since I left my mother's womb, God made me a fighter, una guerrera. 11 years old, he held me down. He stroked my hair. Mama tell me pretend I like it. I know one's puta. So I left my innocence in the bullet I put through his back. Where was La Policia when he taught my soul to capture innocent life? But they called me a monster. Why didn't anyone come to save me when I had nothing? Una niña. No one came to save me. Only God kept me. Solo Dios me protege. El que reza y peca empata. He who sins but prays, breaks even. I learned those streets with my head up. I make passport sorin, even FBI no tell difference. There is nothing impossible for me. And at least I raised my boys to be men. Tell me I'm horrible mother. I gave my children the life you dream of. The only way I knew to raise my sons, I did it. I taught them to be men, strong. I taught them to love each other, keep each other in prayer, in spirit, in love. Mis amores, maybe we're not perfect like you, but we stand up for each other, for what is right, por la familia. I am proud of my sons and I love them more than my parents could ever have loved me. Yo Griselda Blanco, I'm no monster. I'm a survivor, a child de Dios, a warrior. I overcame. I don't give a fuck what you think of me. I am Griselda Blanco. Thank you.
All right. Judges, you are into your final scoring. You have been experts all day. Judges, what say you? Okay, we've got 1 score, 2 score. And I think I got them all just in the nick of time. So from lowest to high, there is an 8. There's an 8.2, an 8.5, an 8.6, and a 9.2. Yeah, 9.2 for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. And give it up for all the poets you've heard here tonight. We've had an amazing, just an amazing crowd of time. And of course, we had to say thank you to all the poets here. I had a whole thing set up. I had a whole complete like fucking thing, right? And then it just failed me. So shout out to everybody who's been a part of the judging thing. Thank you to the judges. Thank you to our amazing, amazing team, timekeeper, scorekeeper, everyone who's been here, who helped make all this possible, and super dope. So great job to everybody. And of course, all the troublemakers out there. As we're going to go through some tabulations.
So the last poet score was
Yes,
25.3.
25.3 for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Yes. 25.3 for the poet. Thank you, thank you, thank you, poet. Thank you, poets. Oh, there. I had a whole thing where there was noises and people cheering. A crowd. You can all go home now. You're late.
Woo!
All right. Y'all, I've had an amazing time. My name is Blue. So what we're going to do is figure out who our first, second, and third place winners are. And of course, we'll figure out of our indies who came in with the top score there. But I hope you all have had an amazing, amazing time. And we've had a really, really smooth bout, I would say. Listen, y'all can go home. Go. So with that being said, I think we know who won. I don't have the exact tabulations. Coming in third place with what was their total score, Apollo? I just threw you in the mix right there.
Are you asking team or indies?
Team.
Okay, so third place with a score of 100.6.
Lyrically Inclined. Give it up for Lyrically Inclined. Second place, we had...
With a score of 112.4.
Writer's Den. And of course, in first place with a score of
114.8.
We had Do More. Give it up for all of these amazing teams, all of these amazing poets. They did a really great job. And of course, with a 26.8 coming in second place out of the Indies, Justin Blackburn. And with a 28.6, we had Mr. Ed Mabry. So those were your indie scores, y'all. We had a great time, right? I had a great time. I don't know if you had a great time. I had a great time. Listen, shouts out to, of course, our sacrifice Daddy Strack, setting this whole mood off, right? Thank you, judges, for hanging out for these 2 hours. Thank you to our bout managers, Siren, Tech, Lauren, Scora, Paula, Time, April, everybody who made this thing possible. No shouts out for Adam Hinsbo.
Hey, Blues.
Yes.
I have to offer shout outs to you, my good friend. Thank you so much for hosting. What a wonderful about snaps, claps, and all the love for our wonderful MC tonight. Please make sure that you stay put so that way we could verify our scores. Also, don't forget, we've got a bout around the corner at 9 o'clock. Just stay tuned to our YouTube, or you could also check us out at southernfriedpoetryslam.com. And then, of course, 11 o'clock tonight, as previously posted, was our Nerd Slam hosted by LJ Bowens. Back to you, Blues.
Thank you so much. As Siren said, make sure you stick around on the YouTubes to see the 9 o'clock bout. Slam Masters, we are going to need your verbal confirmation of the scores. We're living in a tech world, so we can't sign anything, but we need you to hang out, get yourself on camera, and we need to hear you saying yes, that you confirm to the scores. Siren will give you the exact scores, and you will just say, yes, I agree. And that will be your version of signing a thing. Same for you, Ed and Justin. Is everybody clear on that part? Okay. So Siren, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I guess I'll appear on camera tonight. I can't look as dashing as you do, Blues, but I'll try. All right, so let's get these scores and let's go ahead and get every Slam Master here and good to go so we could record